Hi, thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me. We are featuring my top 10 favorites so far, this or that. So if you saw the previous video, you will have seen me swatch 2 items in the same category. So in this video, I'm going to show you application of those items side by side. And I thought we'd do a little bit of a wear test. Yeah, so maybe 5 hours. Let's see how long we can go. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start out with those primers I mentioned in my top 10 this or that so far. I know there's a lot going on in that video, but we'll do a side by side here and look at the 2 Chanel primers. So let's go in with the Mattifying Base on this side, and then we'll go in with the Illuminating Base on this side. And there are different reasons that I use these. The Mattifying Base is one that I use when I want something that doesn't have any kind of glow to it, just really keep this intact so that the makeup on top can perform really well. So I'm just taking it a little bit, this much here to the center. This is really where I need the most priming. And then not much anywhere else, maybe right between the brows and above, but not on my forehead. I don't usually get oily there. I'll get oily here and in this area right here. And then we'll go in with the Le Base Illuminatrice on this side. You can see it has a little bit more peachiness to it. It's got a little bit of illuminating. What I like is that it blurs this a little bit, the discoloration. So let's add a little bit here. So you can definitely see the glow compared to here. So I hope that's helpful for you, because this one also doesn't do as good of a job with oily skin for me than this. So when I'm dry, this one's really great. When I'm a little bit more oily, this one's great. Before we actually go in with foundation, I want to talk about concealers really fast. Some people don't love foundation. Actually, I'm one of those people. I don't love wearing it, but I have a couple here that I really do enjoy. So we're going to go in with this concealer. This is Clé de Peau, and this is in Honey. So for something more serious in terms of a concealer, one that'll stay a long time, this one is really great. So you can see it's almost like an eraser of sorts. It's very opaque, it's thicker, really does the job really well. It looks great over time. So I'm going to take here a concealer brush. Here's one. Let's take this concealer brush and just work that in. This is a number 57. To the corners of the eyes there. I'm going to show you the power of concealer in that I don't really need foundation after this, but if I want it really perfected, I'll go in with that. For a more perfected look under the eye, we're going to go in with this. This is the Chanel Sublimage. This is the eye concealer. This is in the shade 40. That goes a long way. So for those who don't love this concealer, because some people have said it can be a little bit more drying on them, then I would try this one, which is also a favorite of mine when I go in with a no makeup look. This is by Colleen Rothschild, and it's the Illuminating Eye Creme. So I use this as a bit of a color corrector. It's got some peachiness to it. Apply it here. This will be like the more illuminated side of the makeup today. And then going in with the Camoflauge Stylo by Chantecaille. This is in 4C. And then we'll see here, right in this area, I just want to brighten this. So not applying concealer everywhere, just in this area. And then I can also use that to conceal dark spots. Same areas where I concealed with the Clé de Peau. You can see the difference there in coverage. So that's why I like both of these, because they are for different purposes. I like having choices when it comes to my favorites, because I might have a different reason to wear more lightweight makeup versus more heavy duty. We're gonna go in next with foundation. So we've got here the Sublimage Le Teint. This one is by Chanel, and this one is in BD41. So that's what it looks like. Oh, here's the color on it, and it looks like this. So since this one's a little bit more heavy duty, even though this is not like a heavy foundation, it's heavier than the other one I'm going to use, we'll take this and we'll use this Chanel brush. This actually comes with the foundation if you get this. And it looks very similar to the other foundation brushes that I have here, like this. Very similar. And then we're just gonna apply on top of the concealer. Again, a little goes a long way. Here you can see the warmth there. This is the one that I tested in the deluge of rain, gosh, maybe a couple of years now ago. And this performed really, really well. Okay, let me just put a little clip in here, a little Sunday Riley clip. I just like to taper as I get to the exterior. Nice and layer evens everything out, but doesn't cover up the skin totally. So I like for some skin to show through so it looks a little bit more natural. Okay, let's go in with this. This has been a favorite of mine for a long time. This is by Chantecaille. It's in the shade Wheat. Here's the shade, and it's the Future Skin Cushion. We use this BK Beauty 109 brush. Let me just, I don't know what I did with my other clips, so let's just switch this. And then that way it won't press my hair down for too long as well. And it looks like this. I'm just going to use this brush. This also has some warmth to it, Wheat. Okay, so you can see the difference there between Wheat by Chantecaille and then Chanel. Both really pretty finishes. This has slightly more glow to it. Also, I did apply the Illuminating Base, but you can also see right here where I did not apply the Illuminating Primer that there's a little bit more of a glow. I'm just going to do some brows really quick. I went in with a couple of brow products I'm testing out. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. We have, this one is in medium brown. And then there's a different one here. Okay, this one's a little bit harder to use, but really nice results once I've practiced with it. And then this one is in Brunette. So I went in with this deeper one first. And then this formula I went in with on top of. So we have a little bit more dimension there. And then I just kind of refined it with the Chantecaille's waterproof brow product, and this is an Oak Brown. Let me know if you want to see a tutorial. I feel like I do brows every time. I'm just trying to land on a really nice natural brow because my brows have filled in quite a bit, so I don't need as much, and it's a little bit different application. I'm really just trying to find the best way to showcase these because this one is by Chanel in Warm, and then this one is by Clé de Peau. So these have been my really lovely palettes when I want to dress things up. And this one is in 3 Sun-Dried Driftwood. Let me show you. You've got to buy this case separately. And then the Le Beige by Chanel, this one's in Warm. You can see there it says Warm. I think I'll maybe do like a back and forth so you can see this one has less glow to it, the one in Warm by Chanel. So let's take this first. And I'll put that all over the lid and you can see what that looks like on. This is a Chantecaille Shade and Sweep brush that I'm using here. Yeah, I used the Obagi Brow Serum and Lash Serum. They've been working really nicely. Okay, so that is this color right here. So now I'm going to take this color, which is a part, you can see there's a little bit of a different glow on there. So this is the primer in here. And use that to prime. It's a bit creamier. And this has a really lovely natural kind of glow to it, like the glow of a real eyelid, which is why I like this so much. Very, very fine particles. So you can see the difference. So going in here with Sun-Dried Driftwood, this shade right there, we're going to put that in the crease. So you can see how they just really seamlessly work together. All the shades in here. Yeah, at some point I'm gonna have to like even them out, but this is really easy to work with. Yeah, it's like a no effort kind of makeup. So this one doesn't have a medium color in it. However, we can take this shade in the dark and use it as a crease color. So I'm gonna take this number 17 brush. Okay, so you can see the different tones there. The Clé de Peau has a cooler tone, even though this is more neutral, it still has a little bit of a warmer tone. Let's go in over here with this deepest shade again in the Chanel in Warm. I'll do a little bit more drama today. Okay, there's that. And then let's take this deepest shade over here. It's like a raisiny shade. It's really pretty in the Clé de Peau. Then sticking with the Clé de Peau, let's take this shade right here. Just gonna place that right in between the deepest shade and the middle. That's my quick and easy way to blend those. And then let's take this, we'll put that in the center. Let me fix that right here. Okay, just to brighten it, and then you can actually go in with this shade again and then brighten with that. And then back to the Chanel palette. I'm going to take this shade right here and I'm going to apply it to the center. You can see how nice and bright that is. So there's the difference. They're both really easy palettes to use, which is why I like both of them. I'm gonna try and even them out now. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that, but let me see. Maybe we'll try and meld them together. So I'm gonna take some of the Chantecaille, no, I'm gonna take some of the Clé de Peau and let's cool this side down a little bit. I'm just taking the same crease color because the lip product I want to use is a little bit, yeah, I'm gonna want it cooler. So let me just kind of overlay this and get this side as close to I can as this side. So let me do a little bit of work here. And while I turned on the air conditioning, while I finished that up, I also went in and I cleaned up the corners of the eyes. I just added a little bit of the Clé de Peau here. In the corners, same shade, Honey. And then I ran this, it's an eyeshadow stick. If you have not been here before, I used this, it's by Victoria Beckham. It's in the shade Trench and I ran it right under my lash line because it can be a little bit dark there for me. So I use it as a bit of a concealer. Sticks really well. And then I went in with an eye brightening pencil, which I'm looking for. Oh yeah, this one is by Swede and I just ran it right in that waterline. This is in the shade Bright. So this is the one I used. Okay, going in with an eyeliner, which I think is so, so pretty, especially for brown eyes. I have this Chanel one, but I feel like I've used this one about last maybe 6 or so videos. So let me just use this one. This is by Victoria Beckham. I love this shade. The shade specifically is really beautiful. It's in the shade Jeans. Yeah, it's a matte denim blue shade. I'm gonna go really close to the lash line. You're almost in the lashes here. And I'm adding this less for the blue shade and more for the ability for it to really highlight brown eyes. And then I really like this on the end where you can just use this to smudge it. Okay, now we're going to go in with two of my favorite mascaras here. We've got this one, which has been here, a favorite for so long, the Fossil Longest Lash Mascara by Chantecaille. I'll apply here. And then I'll apply the Chanel Le Volume on this side. Actually, let me start with the Chanel. This one works really well by rolling it and depositing more mascara towards the base. This can tend to build up a little bit too much on the ends if I go in like straight. So that's why I like rolling this one. Okay, and then going in on this side with Chantecaille's Fossil Longest Lash Mascara. This one can be a little bit more like feathery with application. Okay, so on this side, let's add a little bit of the Clé de Peau powder, the pressed powder, and it's translucent. You can see it does just a really nice job of doing the job of a powder and taking that shine down. Right above the brow as well. Perfect blur powder. I'm gonna add that on top of this so you'll see what it looks like in combination with the different powders. So I'm gonna go in with the Clé de Peau on this side as well. So the Chantecaille Perfect Blur Powder, this one right here, this one is in light medium. This one is meant to be a finishing powder, although I have to say I do use this directly on the face when I don't need it to be in place for so long or worry so much about wear time. You can see the tone on there is really beautiful. And then I'm just gonna add it, you can see it on the brush here too, to this side, just so you can see the difference between two powders versus one. So you can see there, the finish is a little bit more perfected. And it does make the surface of the skin also look a little bit more perfected. Then we'll just leave the side slightly powdered. I've got two powder blushes that I really like. So we've got here a Chanel blush and then over here a Valentino blush. So this one is 72. It's a really pretty pink color. A Rae Morris brush. And we're gonna apply that so if you like a traditional blush, like a traditional powder blush, this is a really pretty one. And it's neither too cool nor too warm on me, so it's a nice neutral blush. And then let's go over here with the Valentino blush. And this one is in 9. This has been a favorite for so long. And you can see there's a tawnier kind of tone to it. Let's use this Rae Morris brush. You can see the color. It's another skin enhancing kind of blush, really pretty. So I love those two. Those are definitely go-tos. And then for a cream blush, we're going to go on top of this just to add a little bit more of a glow. We've got this Dior blush, and this one is in Rosewood. And I've shown this by itself. I've shown it with other blushes. Use this brush. It's a 106 brush. Very similar to Rose Initiale, but it's got a bit of a glow to it. Kind of takes down a powdery nature to the blush. Or if you like more neutral tones, the other blush, cream blush I've been loving is this one. This is by Chanel. It's blush number 20. And this is a very unique shade right here. I'm gonna use this brush. This is a REPHR brush, LCO2, for more liquidy textures. Let's add this here. And it looks like this. In here it looks like this, but on you can see it has a bit more color to it. Actually, it works really nicely with this Valentino blush. So I just want to show you those on. Okay, now I want to even these out because we are going for a little bit more of a cooler tone. So let me take a little bit of this Dior blush here, now that I've shown you that, and then let's make this a bit pinker, and then let's try and tone this down a little bit. So we're gonna blend, do a blend of these two. So when you see the other video where I'm talking about everything, you'll know why this looks slightly different than this side. Now for bronzer, got a couple of options. We've got this one by Dior. Let's put the one by Hermes on this side. It was my favorite last year as well. Atlas, one of the most unusual shades. It's more warm, but it doesn't have anything orange in it. It's just a beautiful golden tone. So the shade is 02 Atlas. It's either 02 Atlas, and it looks like it won't show up on me, but it does. You can see the shade there. Okay, this is not a bronzer brush, but I'm going to take it anyway. It's a 101. You can see right there how pretty that is. When I do bronzer, I go really close to that cheek, like I'm on the cheek, right below the highest point. Still one of the prettiest bronzers I've used. We're gonna go in with the Dior bronzer on this side. Going with the Dior bronzer, this is an 02 Tan. You can see the shade there. This is an 02 Tan, this Dior bronzer. I love the convenience of this being in a stick. You can see the color there. while we're here, let's do some highlighter. So we've got here the Victoria Beckham, and this one was a favorite also. This is in Pearl. I think they have a couple shades, but this one's in Pearl. And you can see there's a bit, just a slight bit of color here. Not color, but you can see there's going to be a little bit of a glow because of the texture and because of the particles in there. Very fine though. Really forgiving here. I find that powder highlighters are not as forgiving on me. And provides a little bit of moisture there where I can get a little dry. I'm going to run this down my nose as well. Just the center. And then let's go over here with the highlighter by Chanel. And then this one, you can't even really see it. It says, this one says transparent. And it really is transparent. Like, let me show you. That's what it looks like. We don't have anything sparkly in there. They're really more of a texture thing in terms of a highlighter. So that dewiness. Let me just do something with my hair and we'll add the lip. Okay, as usual, I just ran my Dyson through my hair. I don't think I ever showed this, but I did mention that I use the Dyson for my bangs. I just use the barrel that goes across and just let it for a little bit, and then that's it. It just gets a little bit of a curl. Yeah, so it helps a lot. Okay, so then let's go in with the lip. This is by Chantecaille. It's in Red Lily, and it's such a pretty formulation. This is a newer product to them, the Lip Creme. Stunning, stunning shade. I just like to line like this first. Or you could use the lip brush. This one is by Chantecaille. Building the outline first. It's really precise brush. Then let's go in with this. Yeah, you can see what a difference a lip makes. And I thought we'd do a little bit of a wear test. Now it's already almost it's around 4:30, and I started this makeup around 3 because it was so hot and I was taking breaks in between. So the base makeup has already been on for about an hour and a half. Yeah, so maybe 5 hours. Let's see how long we can go. We are about 3.5 hours in from initial application, and I haven't touched anything up. I had a snack. I ate some prunes and I had some water. Is that it? I think that's all I did. And I've been tidying around the house, so anytime we do that, I take my jewelry off, so I don't have any jewelry on. But I thought we would lean in, and then I think you could see what I'm talking about when I say the makeup gets better with time, especially the Chantecaille over here, the Future Skin. And then this is the Chanel. Also looks really nice. I just want to show you in the eyes. I don't see any creasing there. Yeah, no creasing. That's another great thing. I mean, we kind of layered the Clé de Peau on top of the Chanel at this point, but there's no creasing. It's another thing I love about those. The only little bit of creasing I see is right here. The Chanel. I do have some dry skin too, so I don't know if that's what's going on there, but no creasing here. Yeah, it looks really nice. The under eye concealers look nice. You can see definitely a difference in the finish of those under eye concealers as well. Yeah, this is 3 hours of wear. It's very warm here today. It's humid. Yeah, and it's not running down my face or anything like that. So I'll see you probably in maybe 2 more hours. So we'll try and do maybe a 5-hour wear test. So hopefully that'll give you some indication of how well everything wears. But I think I usually see if it's not going to go well in the first few hours, I start to see things happening. But really we're in good shape here. 5 hours into wear, a little bit over 5 hours. I did eat dinner, so I wiped off my lipstick. So it performs like the Chanel Lustre. It's very similar in wear. Just know that once the lipstick comes off, there is a bit of a stain left. And then here's a closer up view of the makeup. And then the eye makeup still looks really nice. I don't believe I have any creasing there. And then the face makeup looks good too. I did scratch like the sides of my nose, but really very much intact. So that's why I selected these items for my favorites so far this year. Let me just double check the eyes. Yeah, we don't have any creasing, so that's really nice. And just a little bit shiny. Yeah, the eye makeup looks really nice. Just a little shiny, like I could touch up with a little bit of powder if I wanted to. So if I was going for a longer day, since this is a very lightweight powder, this Clé de Peau, Might be a nice thing to take along the way if I have an event or some kind of reason I'm wearing all this makeup. You can just take a little bit of this Clé de Peau powder and just touch up like this. And everything looks pretty good. And even my hair, I used the Dyson. I don't have any hairspray or anything in. Just has a little bit of a curl still left in it and a lot of movement because I didn't add hairspray either. So I find that the Dyson works best for me when it's slightly damp. Yeah, and then I just use that largest barrel there and curl it and it dries it, like that last bit of drying. So I hope the 5-hour wear time was helpful. I know it wasn't as long as like an 8-hour, but realistically, if I wear makeup like this, it is probably going to be around this amount of time. And I didn't really do anything that rigorous, but I was inside, I was doing tours, and just wanted to show you some regular wear, and the primers really help a lot. So do let us know if those favorites of yours have great wear time. We'd love to know what those are. So do please leave those in the comment section below. But that's it for today's video. So please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.